By the end of this video, you will have a clear roadmap for learning French and the best tools to make your journey smoother and more enjoyable. French is difficult. It's even hard to learn for native French speakers. Conjugation, spelling, gender of nouns, all the evil rules of grammar and nasty exceptions. I will never fully master French, ever. So whether you started learning French yesterday or at school 30, 40, 50 years ago and are still struggling to speak it, please, let's stop and look around. In order to reach your dream destination, whether it's having a coffee with your French neighbor, visiting France off the beaten track, or watching Call My Agent without English subtitles, you need a map. Or you will get lost in the dark swamps of the French subjunctives, the evil forests of useless French vocabulary, or the ditches of bad French accent. Without a map to learn French with a clear destination in mind, an exciting path with beautiful motivating landscapes, and clear milestones to rest and celebrate, you will lose patience and motivation, give up and rest on the comfortable, but such a bad excuse. I am too old to learn French. This is the limiting belief that's holding you back. Give me your hand and let's get you back on track. When you have a map, the very first thing that you need to do is figure out where you stand. If you pick a random position instead, you will end up going the wrong way. So that's why your starting position today is so important for the next phase of your French journey. And better yet, it's very important to know where you are at with your spoken French. Yes, we'll set aside reading and writing for now. I know that's bold, but it's for a reason. Students often fool themselves by thinking that they're fluent in French because they can understand a written text of any size. Oh, I read Les Misérables, I'm an advanced student. And it's true, it's great and impressive if you did. But when I ask them to read a passage out loud, they start to sweat. And if I ask them to speak spontaneously, even to fake order a croissant, they freeze. And that's normal. Don't worry, it's simply that written French and spoken French require two sets of skills, and with Commune Française, I want to help you improve your real spoken French. Because if you want to have a chat with French people, it's spoken French that you need. Speaking French spontaneously like a human being, not stiffly and formally like a textbook, and even more difficult, understanding it. Like listening and making out what your favorite character is saying in a French TV show. French people speak fast, so take a look at where you're at. What's your level in understanding spoken French and in speaking French? For understanding, think about, can you understand the main points of a French news broadcast? Can you understand the plot of a French movie without subtitles? Can you follow a simple conversation between two native speakers at a normal pace? Can you even catch humor or wordplay in a spoken French conversation? For speaking French, you can check for yourself. Can you introduce yourself with confidence? Can you have a basic conversation about a hobby of yours? Can you make long sentences without long pauses in the middle? Can you tell a short story or describe the latest anecdote in your life in French? Finally, you can also consider, when was the last time you had a real-life French conversation? How did it go? How confident do you feel in your abilities on a scale from 1 to 10? What specific aspects or understanding or speaking French do you find most challenging? Once you know these crucial coordinates for your starting position, you can build confidence no matter your current level or your end goal. Which leads me to defining that end goal. What's your destination for your French journey ahead? I always begin my sessions with students with a very important question. What's your goal today in learning French? What do you want to achieve? I'm not asking about credentials. It's not a level or an exam or any specific grammar point you're struggling with. Instead, think about real-life applications. What is the experience you're looking for? For instance, do you dream to confidently order a multi-course meal in a Parisian bistro, discussing wine pairings with the sommelier rather than just pointing at menu items? Engage in meaningful conversations with your French-speaking grandchildren, sharing stories and jokes without constantly reaching for a dictionary. Finally, enjoying French movies without subtitles, catching nuances and cultural references that were previously lost in translation. Notice how these goals are not about achieving a certain level, mastering complex grammatical structures, or even becoming 100% fluent. They're about making connections, experiencing joy, and enriching your life. Accomplishing these goals will bring you a sense of pride and fulfillment, and I will be thrilled to witness your progress. The beauty of these objectives is that they're attainable regardless of where you start on the map of French learning. You only need a good structure, the correct expectations, and a few tools in your backpack. For a glimpse into a typical student's experience, watch Helen's story in the video I've shared in the description below. Helen isn't a real specific person, but she represents the journey of most of my students. She studied French decades ago, and now that she's retired, she wants to use her newfound free time to rekindle her passion for French language and culture. Helen decided to revive what she learned back in high school so that she can have nice conversations and more authentic experiences during her upcoming trip to France. French will be her retirement project, and she's excited about this new adventure. Once you're comfortable with your goals, you are ready to start your French learning adventure. And to help you in your journey, you can simply follow the map of learning French. This map will guide you from your first bonjour to fluent animated conversations about French cinema. Every journey begins with a single step. On the map, you will see Beginner's Valley. This is where you will start. Learn essential greetings and phrases like bonjour, but never say it twice in the same day. Bonsoir after 6 p.m. Merci, s'il vous plaît. You will also grasp basic grammar structures like c'est plus adjective. For example, c'est joli for that's pretty. Simple present tense verbs like elle a un chien or je suis là. Basic negation like il a pas de chat, je comprends pas. Here you can notice that I removed the ne in this negation because this is what we do in everyday spoken French. And build a foundation of everyday vocabulary. In Beginner's Valley, you will find resources like News in Slow French, Coffee Break French, and RFI, le journal en français facile at rfi.fr. These are perfect for getting your ears tuned to French sounds. As you progress on the map, you will cross a bridge to the intermediate plateau. The landscape stops changing so fast, you don't feel like you're making much progress, and many students will lose motivation here, but not you, because you're still looking forward to reaching your goal like a compass. This is where you start to expand your vocabulary with words relating to your life, like family terms to talk about your loved ones. For example, le père for the father, un neveu for a nephew. Also, profession-related words that you need to talk about your career, like un médecin for a doctor, or une institutrice for a primary school teacher. Everyday objects that you use with their genders, like le pain, la ville, le train, la voiture. And you will start exploring more complex grammar structures, like le futur proche with aller and infinitive, like je vais déjeuner avec Lucien demain. For tomorrow, I'm going to have lunch with Lucien. Le passé immédiat as well, the near past with venir de and infinitive, like je viens de voir Muriel for I just saw Muriel. You will also start forming simple sentences and having short conversations like Le train arrive à 8 heures. J'ai faim, on va déjeuner? Je vais prendre un café, merci. Bonjour, je voudrais une baguette s'il vous plaît. On this intermediate plateau, you will discover the French music mountains, where you can learn through French songs and their lyrics, and the conversation creek, where you can start practice speaking. After a long trek through the intermediate plateau, you will find a new rhythm. The sun shines brighter, the people are more friendly, and the baguette is delightfully crunchy. But there is a final leg on your journey on the map, the road to Advanced Peak. This challenging climb offers engagement in complex conversations. For example, describe your daily life in French. Discuss the last movie you watched. Talk about a recent trip, perhaps to France. You also start exploring French media, for example, TV5 Monde with news and programs from the Francophone world, Arte.tv with great programs with a user-friendly app, and it's free. Netflix shows like The French Agency, Call My Agent, and Lupin. Newspapers and magazines like Le Monde, La Croix, Le 1, Marie Claire, Télérama. And also practical applications in real-life scenarios. For example, you will start to plan a trip to France entirely in French. You will research accommodations, transportation, and activities on French websites. You can also make phone calls and write emails to book reservations in French. At Advanced Peak, you will also find the media metropolis with streets named after French TV channels and streaming services like France 2, Radio France, or watching TV shows like the new French Zorro series without subtitles. You also discover the newspaper neighborhood where you can read authentic French content from Le Monde to Le 1. Remember, your journey on the map is unique. Some people might sprint through Beginner's Valley, while others might take a more scenic route. The important thing is to keep moving forward. As you travel, you will find that the map isn't just about reaching Advanced Peak. It's about enjoying the journey, immersing yourself in the culture, and connecting with fellow travelers along the way. You might even join a French book club or start a WhatsApp group with other Francophiles to discuss French culture and places. Are you ready to embark on your French learning adventure? Grab the map, hiking shoes, and a backpack for your traveling tools. The right tools in your backpack will help you all along your French learning journey. These resources will help you structure your learning and keep you on track. For a comprehensive guide, I've been recommending the Progressif du Français series by Clé Internationale for 12 years. Think of it as your all-in-one guidebook. It covers all levels from A1 to C2. It focuses on vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and communication. It's perfect for understanding language fundamentals. Yes, it's a bit old school because I am old school as well. You will need a pen and paper, but it's thorough and effective. If your French is a bit rusty, you can consider packing the Pratique Révision A1 exercise book. It's like a quick reference guide with a handy recap of French rules. For online navigation, we offer 2 courses that guide you. Spoken French Essentials, it's great for beginners or those looking to brush up on everyday spoken French. And Exercise Your French, which is a deeper dive into French culture and etiquette with regular quizzes. For a fun addition to your toolkit, you can consider Duolingo. While it lacks cultural context, it can be a good way to start and stay motivated. Just remember, it's more of a game than a comprehensive learning tool. Don't forget to pack some flashcards or download an app like Anki or Moshi. These tools use spaced repetition, which is incredibly effective for long-term retention of what you're learning. You can use either physical index cards or an app or both. Just pick what suits you best. One of the best ways to stay motivated is to learn vocabulary related to your passion. Whether you're into gardening, opera, cycling, focusing on what you love is really good to keep you going. Here are some ideas. If you are in France, please join une association related to your interest. With 1.3 million associations in France, you are sure to find your tribe. If you're far from France, find French TV shows about your passion. Some recommendations. For history fans, Déraciner des ailes. For gardeners, Silence ça pousse. For animal lovers, Une saison aux eaux, which is a personal guilty pleasure of mine. Don't overlook children's book. There is a lot of novels and short stories for children that you can start with. Personally, I am a big fan of the book series La Vie de Château, as well as everything by author Clémentine Beauvais. In particular, she has a series of retelling classic stories from the Greek mythology, which my son loves, with her own fun and friendly style, like Orphée aux Enfers or the story of Icare. I also love les documentaires, which are short non-fiction books, and these are excellent for learning specialist vocabulary, especially if you have a child around. The Copain des series covers topics like gardening, pets, and astronomy. If you're learning with a child around, the Mes Petits Docs series is popular and covers a wide range of subjects. These are also great for preparing a trip to France. Remember, the best recommendations often come from fellow travelers, so I encourage you to share your favorite resources in the comments. Your tools might be just what another learner needs on their journey. The secret to completing a long journey is to simply get to the next step. Just one more day, one more lesson, one more step. It's not about going fast, it's about going steady. And for you, this means clarity. Without clarity, you're only following your motivation. Maybe today you feel like learning French, then tomorrow you get distracted. And next year you will realize you still haven't learned any of the things that you wanted to. You end up back to square one, but 1 year later. On the other hand, with a clear plan in your mind, you will find it much easier to stick to the journey. A great way to get clarity is to set up a clear schedule. It can be a weekly schedule, where a rotation is simple. Simple tasks keep you practicing French each day. As small, as simple as you want. For instance, you could say, on Monday, I will talk to myself in the mirror in French for at least, let's say, 3 sentences. On Tuesday, I read a real French newspaper article from a source that I like. I can translate the words that I don't know and write them down. On Wednesday, I have a 5-minute Duolingo session just for fun. On Thursday, I recap my day with my dog in French. On Friday, I watch a clip from French series that I like with subtitles, then without subtitles. On Saturday, I watch a free Commune Française lesson on YouTube. And on Sunday, I have a fun coffee session with another French learner. Practicing with another French learner is what my best students do in my French Conversation Club program. Some have been meeting each week for years. It's also a great way to make friends. A clear schedule will help you stay on track. You can make your own so that you can see it fits you personally. You can also follow a program with a built-in schedule as well. That's what you will find in my 30-day French challenge programs, for instance. Every day for 30 days, you get a short challenge that you can complete in around 15 minutes, where you learn more about French vocabulary, French slang, and French culture. There are many different types of challenges so that you don't get bored at all. You only need to connect your computer that day and get started. Whatever you pick, with a clear schedule, you will quickly find yourself out of beginner's valley or going steadily through the intermediate plateau or even climb the advanced peak with a sure footing. In your French journey, you're going to encounter some tricky terrain, some scary obstacles. These features are not about your motivation or your willingness. Sometimes your own worst enemy isn't yourself. It's really that weird French language. Don't worry, I will give you some tips to navigate these obstacles like a pro. First up, we have what I called the formal-informal divide. Imagine that you've been hiking on well-maintained trails. That's your French textbook French. That's good. You add the ne for negations. Then you say tu as for you have. But suddenly everything changes around you. You find yourself in uncharted territory. That's real spoken French. It's the gap between elle ne peut pas and elle peut pas, between as-tu faim and t'as faim, or between je sais pas and je sais pas. It's a pretty deep chasm. So how do we bridge this gap? Simple. Embrace the differences. Think of informal French as an exciting new dialect. Immerse yourself in authentic French. Watch shows like Call My Agent or Lupin on Netflix. Learn common contractions like dropping the ne in negations, saying resto for restaurant, or even à tout with the T at the end for à tout à l'heure, see you later. Next, we have the confidence canyon. This is where many learners freeze up, afraid of making mistakes. And that's a sad issue. French people would love to build a conversation with you, but first you have to actually speak. You will make mistakes, but that's okay. Remember, even native speakers make mistakes. Your errors are stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. But that's where your clear schedule comes to the rescue. You have been practicing talking to your mirror or to your dog or your cat in French. They won't judge, I promise. But you slowly found it a habit to simply talk so you can jump that canyon. Now let's tackle the pronunciation maze. Those tricky French sounds can feel confusing and disorienting. Are you supposed to go this way and say ou, or go that way and say u? What about en and un? What about this weird pitfall? Well, here is the secret to escape the maze. Just plow through it. Don't obsess over perfecting every sound. Concentrate on the ones that really matter for understanding French. Moving on to the vocabulary valley. This is where outdated words and phrases can leave you sounding like a 1950s French laundry detergent commercial. The solution: learn vocabulary that's relevant to your life. If you're a retired lawyer, learn un avocat or une avocate. Do you love gardening? Learn plant names in French, like un avocat, for instance. Make it personal, make it stick. Last but not least, we have the listening swamp. This is where your confidence when speaking French get bogged down by simply not understanding what's going on. Here the solution is slower. But slow is good. You just have to keep to your clear schedule, remember? So start with slow French resources, then gradually move to natural speed content. Podcasts are great for this. Start with transcripts, then challenge yourself without them. Remember, every obstacle is an opportunity to improve. By facing these challenges head on, you will find your French journey becoming smoother and more enjoyable. And now you are ready to go on this adventure. Remember, whatever your goal with French is, you can achieve it. You can become confident when speaking and understanding French. You only need the right map to guide you and the correct tools in your backpack. Your journey starts today, and I would be thrilled to be a part of it. So, what's your next move? You've got 2 fantastic options right now. Get on my newsletter. You will find weekly insights into learning French, cultural explorations, and tips from my everyday life. Click on the link in the description to subscribe. And of course, it's free. And afterwards, if you're ready, you can also follow up with your next lesson. Just click on the video that appears on your screen. Watch this now. Allez, à plus, I will see you in the next video.